Welcome to Max Premieres. Today I'm bringing you 10 series that share one thing in common. Once you watch that first episode, stopping is basically off the table. They span wildly different genres and eras, and I've ranked them from least to most addictive based on my honest personal take. Some are global household names, others might catch you off guard. But before we dive in, it would mean a lot if you took a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for your support. Number 10. War of the Kingdoms. The Germanic kingdoms of the 5th century lived under a balance that was more illusion than fact. Alliances collapsed before they could hold, battles settled, nothing lasting, and caught in the middle were two men whose paths were destined to crash. Hagen von Tronje is the loyal master of arms of the Burgundian court, a seasoned warrior carrying a love he can never speak aloud. Then there's Siegfried, a reckless young prince who became nearly invincible after slaying the last living dragon on Earth. When both men converge at King Gunther's court, the kingdom's unstable balance crumbles fast. Betrayals pile up, a tangled love triangle escalates with every episode, and the decisions made drag the entire court toward disaster. The show is rooted in the Nibelungenlied, the ancient Germanic epic poem that inspired works like The Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. 6 episodes total, and the production values are genuinely impressive. Audience reactions are split. Some call it ambitious and epic, others feel the execution never quite matches the weight of the source material. If medieval fantasy with real political intrigue sounds appealing, the opening episodes will make clear whether this one delivers. Number 9. Goliath. At his peak, Billy McBride was the kind of lawyer others were genuinely scared to face. He won impossible cases, had the best clients, and his reputation spoke for itself in any courtroom in the country. That version of Billy is long gone. What's left is a functioning alcoholic, barely keeping it together, his health in decline, his career a distant memory. Everything shifts when a woman comes to him with a case the system has been quietly burying for years, a major weapons manufacturer whose negligence cost someone their life, and the family has been left with nothing. Billy takes the case. The problem comes in 2 parts. First, the corporation has virtually unlimited resources to fight him. Second, the firm defending them is the same one Billy helped build during his glory days, meaning the lawyers lined up against him are people he personally trained. The David versus Goliath dynamic is the engine driving this show, and what makes it genuinely difficult to stop watching isn't just the legal maneuvering, it's tracking a broken man fighting his way back to something he thought was gone for good. 4 seasons, and each one raises the stakes. Number 8. Foundation. What if someone could mathematically calculate the collapse of an entire civilization? That's exactly what mathematician Hari Seldon does when he proves that the Galactic Empire, which has ruled for thousands of years, is on an irreversible path toward destruction. And the fall won't be quick. It will usher in 30,000 years of chaos and darkness. Seldon can't stop the collapse, but he believes he can shorten that dark age dramatically. His plan is to gather the brightest minds in the galaxy on a remote planet and build a vast repository of human knowledge, a spark to light the way through centuries of night. Meanwhile, the Empire is still governed by a dynasty of clones holding absolute power, but cracks are beginning to show in ways no force can permanently seal. This adaptation of Isaac Asimov's classic novels operates on a visual scale very few series can afford, and the narrative ambition is genuinely striking. The first season runs dense for viewers unfamiliar with high-concept science fiction, but those who stay will find one of the richest stories in recent television. If epic sci-fi with real philosophical weight is your thing, this one is essentially non-negotiable. Number 7. From Season 4. Picture a small town that looks ordinary enough until you try to leave. No matter which road you take, every route loops back to where you started. And when night falls, something comes out of the woods. From is a series that blends horror, mystery, and science fiction from the very first episode with a precision that grabs you immediately and doesn't let go. Season 4 deepens the mysteries that have been building since the beginning. The figure, known as the Man in Yellow, steps forward as the central threat, and the revelations about what this town actually is start coming faster. Characters like Boyd, Tabitha, and Jade face choices that could rewrite everything viewers thought they understood about this place. The pacing is deliberate and cumulative, which can test the patience of anyone expecting fast answers, but it's that slow, careful construction that gives each revelation its full impact. If you're new to this one, start from the beginning and prepare for a story that will occupy a permanent corner of your brain for weeks. For viewers already invested, Season 4 delivers on years of build-up in ways the fanbase has been asking for. Number 6. The Patient. Alan Strauss has spent years listening to his patient's darkest secrets without flinching. It comes with the territory, but nothing in his training prepared him for this. One of his newer patients kidnaps him and locks him in a basement with a very specific request: help him stop killing people. The man, Sam, is a functioning serial killer who moves through the world undetected, and he genuinely believes therapy can save him from himself. For Alan, the dilemma is brutal. If he refuses to engage, Sam kills again. If he helps too effectively, Sam might conclude he no longer needs him, which creates a very different kind of danger. What sets this series apart isn't just the tension of captivity, but the psychological chess game between two people who, under any other circumstances, might actually understand each other. The performances are exceptional, the tone stays cold and unsettling throughout, and the episodes run about 30 minutes each. 10 episodes total, easy to finish in one sitting, hard to shake afterward. It's one of the most quietly disturbing watches in recent memory, and it earns every bit of discomfort it puts you through. Number 5. The Day of the Jackal. The shot lands clean, the target drops, the shooter disappears without a trace. What nobody realizes yet is that this time, something was left behind, something subtle enough that only one person will notice. That's where this show begins. The Jackal is the world's most elite assassin, operating beneath a completely ordinary surface that hides one of the most methodical and lethal minds alive. When a recent job leaves the faintest thread exposed, Bianca, a relentless British intelligence officer, starts pulling on it. What unfolds is a pursuit across Europe where hunter and hunted keep switching roles without either one willing to admit it. Eddie Redmayne plays the Jackal in a performance you won't see coming if you know him from previous roles. The cold precision he brings is completely convincing. Lashana Lynch as Bianca is the perfect counterweight. Driven, sharp, and never quite one step behind enough to feel comfortable. The pacing is fast, the locations are stunning, and the tension stays locked in from episode 1. 10 episodes that go by far quicker than you expect, and a second season already confirmed. Number 4. Murder Mindfully, Season 2. Björn Diemel is a criminal defense attorney in Berlin whose wife signs him up for a mindfulness course to save their marriage. What nobody anticipated, least of all Björn himself, is that the techniques he picks up in that seminar become his preferred method for eliminating the people making his life complicated, including his demanding mob client. That's the setup for this German dark comedy that landed at number 1 globally across more than 60 countries. Season 2 arrives with Björn having achieved what once seemed impossible. He controls 2 rival criminal organizations, his home life is somewhat stable, and his mind appears balanced. But genuine inner peace keeps eluding him. His therapist now has him exploring the concept of his inner child, and what follows is every bit as gloriously absurd as the first season. The humor stays genuinely dark, the direction is sharp, and Tom Schilling is simply excellent. The second season adds real depth to what was already working without losing the bizarre tone that makes the show impossible to describe to someone who hasn't seen it. One of the most original concepts in streaming in years, and it gets better with each episode. Number 3. Paradise. 3 years after a catastrophic event wiped out the surface of the planet, the remnants of the world's government and elite live in a massive underground city in Colorado, built to shelter the powerful from the collapse above. In that seemingly serene place, Xavier Collins, a White House Secret Service agent, arrives for what should be a routine day and finds the president dead beside his bed. Xavier becomes the prime suspect, and what starts as a personal mission to prove his innocence spirals into something far deeper, a conspiracy embedded in the very foundation of this underground world. Sterling K. Brown as Xavier delivers one of the best performances of his career, and James Marsden as the president matches him at every turn. The series operates as both a political thriller and a tightly wound mystery, and the way it weaves flashbacks into the present narrative is remarkably effective. It's one of the most addictive series to drop in recent years, the kind of show where episode endings feel like a physical shove toward the next one. That first season finale lands like a gut punch, and a second season is already available. Number 2. Dark. Imagine a small town in Germany where time doesn't behave the way you'd expect, not in a metaphorical sense, literally. The past, present, and future are tangled together in ways no character fully grasps, and only the viewer, paying very close attention, can begin to unravel. Dark follows 4 families in the town of Winden whose stories intersect across entirely different decades, set in motion by the disappearance of a child that cracks open a mystery that keeps widening with every episode. From the very first hour, the show creates this deeply unsettling feeling that nothing is what it appears to be, and that every answer will open 3 more questions. The first season is a masterclass in how to build tension and sustained mystery. Seasons 2 and 3 scale the complexity to levels very few shows are brave enough to attempt, and the ending of the complete story ranks among the most satisfying conclusions in the genre. Critics placed it consistently among the best series of its era, and the fanbase has never stopped talking about it. If you haven't started yet, clear your schedule. You will not stop after 1 episode. Number 1. Squid Game. 456 people, all of them drowning in debt, all of them out of options, received the same strange invitation: compete in a series of games for a prize that would change everything. What they don't know going in is that the games are the ones they played as children, but the stakes now involve their lives. With a premise that sounds simple but carries layers of social commentary that emerge with every episode, Squid Game became the biggest global phenomenon in streaming history. The first non-English language production to lead worldwide rankings, with more than 111 million households watching in just the first 4 weeks. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. What makes this show genuinely impossible to put down is the class critique running beneath every scene, the economic desperation, the choices people make under impossible pressure, the way a rigged system turns ordinary people against each other. Seong Gi-hun, the lead, is so broken and so recognizably human that following him becomes almost compulsive. The first season is a complete, impactful story on its own, and the universe has since expanded across 3 full seasons. Start tonight. And that wraps up our list. I hope you found at least one series that's now on your watch list and ready for your next binge session. The number 1 pick especially deserves your attention if you haven't started it yet. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss our next videos. And drop a comment letting me know which of these series grabs you hardest from episode 1, or if there's one you think should have made the cut. See you in the next video.